Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice and to My Choice Tuesday. I've been very interested for a while now in a singer named Melissa Bonny, and she and her band recently released a new single, so I think it's time we're going to listen to Ad Infinitum for the first time on the channel today. It might be Ad Infinitum. Let me know how much to Latinify that pronunciation to get it right. So this single is called Afterlife. Sounds pretty fun. And I wanted to talk a little bit before we get into it about why I think Melissa Bonny is so cool. Not only have I heard that she's got a really stellar voice, but she sounds like a brilliant person. She collaborated with a guitarist from Delane to make their first single and then used that to crowdfund their first album, which was successful. And then they established this really awesome band of a lot of diverse people. I think that's awesome too. And then on top of that, she's collaborated with a number of bands that we know and love on the channel, like Helvetii and many others. And today's song is a collaboration with Nils Molin, who I know sings with Amaranthe, and it will be my first time hearing him as well. So let's get to it. Oh.
Chanting your name, all the souls in hell wait. As old men, you will die. Will we celebrate your triumphs or despise your pride?
She has a lot of immediate buzz in that, like a lower midsection of the voice, which is pretty fantastic to hear right away. It has a lot of cut in it, and it almost sounds like something you would hear like R&B or pop on the radio, the way it just immediately has that sound, but there's also a little bit of a huskiness in it. So first impression of the voice is just a very attractive sound, I think. Let's go back. Surprise, surprise. There was a lot happening in here, but most of all, there was tons of fire and it looked really cool. And also her hair is gorgeous and I love the way she's headbanging. The lighting is awesome. And the sets. Whew.
Chanting your name, all the souls in hell wait.
Liked that toss off.
As old men, you will die. Will we celebrate your triumphs or despise your pride? One last try to say your name for your final day. A redemption divine. And you break day after day for a second chance to be afterlife. See the flames coming your way, and the blaze of sky tonight.
I like the overarching melody in this. I just really love these long legato lines that are happening. That's beautiful. And I'm loving the vocal layering and the production of it as well. It was very interesting. In the pre-chorus, we already got like a double at one point, and the voices were pulled back to sort of make room for that double. So it sounded at first like we had essentially one track that was very center and you didn't have as much layering, right? I'm going to go back to that exact moment. It's so fascinating to me how you can use doubling to really affect the feel of the vocal overall. And then we'll talk about the layering she's done as well.
One last try to say your name for your
So right there is where you get to switch where it's doubled and pulled back more. It's so interesting because it makes it feel like it suddenly becomes less personal and a much grander scope.
last try to say your name for your final day. A redemption divine. Have you prayed day after day for a second chance in the afterlife? See the
I think we have Nils in there too, because we have a lower voice that's happening as well. I love that we're getting really clear words with tons of layers as well. Sometimes it's hard to get good enunciation when you have lots of people or lots of selves singing along. And I also just really appreciate that transition from, the one voice to doubling it to going into this much more grand spectrum of these layers. It's cool. Ooh, good timing on that T.
Counting your tears, both the hunter and the prey.
Whoa.
As you fade into the night, your own legacy of fear is now coming to life.
Ooh, I like that they put his voice second because hers felt personal and there were lots of she did creaks or a lot of styling that feels a little more like it could be next door, and his feels like this feels like very much more dramatic, much more intense, so you need that sort of leveling up in the journey of a song. I like the grit that he has available as well, and the harpsichord little interlude there right before he came in was really cool. It made it feel like creepy, which I believe it's meant to feel kind of ancient, a little vampire-ish, right? Because we have this idea of essentially afterlife and hell and redemption and all of these, and yeah, there's a lot of really interesting subtext going on. Oh, right back a little bit. Beautiful choreography. Such a cool interlude. Okay, let's listen to that one more time. I love that it's totally unexpected and it works out so well at the same time. Huh.
Counting your tears, both the hunter and the prey. As you fade into the night, your own legacy of fear is now coming to life. Let me see through your eyes, through remorse in your cries.
Oh, I love that the way he went up on cries, he went on a more closed vowel. So he, instead of staying on the ah of the diphthong of I, so diphthongs, by the way, are two vowels that essentially are pushed together to make one sound. So I is both an ah and an e crunched into one sound. So when you're singing it, you can choose to linger on the first vowel or the second vowel more or less. And he lingers on the second one here, which is really smart because a lot of times when a guy is going up into that range, they'll feel a little more control, and he's able to get more of a crying sound by going to the E vowel. It was a really fun stylistic choice. Okay, just back.
Let me see through your eyes, through remorse in your cries. A crescendo love. You pray day after day for a second chance in the afterlife. See the flames coming your way, and you'll blaze the sky tonight.
I like these lyrics. I think it's so fascinating to think about a second chance in the afterlife. see the flames coming your way. It really, I feel like they've molded everything together very well for the music video, having this setting that feels ancient castle, but at the same time, you have the flames and a lot of the masks on the band members feel very much like something that is coming to take you to death, possibly. And beautiful slow motion clips of them as well. Yeah, it really meshes beautifully. Okay, back a little bit. Ooh, shift.
Doomed and petrified, the face of fear and doubt. You see the angels fade away, so one last try. Look at the sky and you pray.
Let's talk about part of what makes this bridge so cool. One of the things I'm starting to really appreciate about her voice, it's actually, I mentioned it in the first stop, but I'm listening to it more and more and just like, oh yeah, this is one of the reasons why she's really good. And it's the way she keeps so much focus in her sound in a lower area without necessarily sounding like she's crazy belting or something. She's just got a lot of buzz, and at the same time is able to have a lot of like fluffiness essentially in the voice. So I hear like good relaxation in the vocal mechanism and then fantastic placement. So it's all combining to just make a really great sound here. And it's so interesting to hear the two of them very close together in the pitches. Because Nils is singing higher in his upper range, but he's got a way that he's able to lighten that up, and it ends up balancing very well with the two voices together. You can hear because of tone quality that there's two different ones there, but they've just got like a really nice synergy happening. And it's also interesting, I think at one point he might have actually gone a little higher than her. I have to go back and listen to it again, but they're so close together and the sounds are working really well. That's not usual for a male and female. Female voices naturally are going to lose power and as they go down in pitch, and male voices will naturally gain power as they go up in pitch. So having this sort of middle spot is cool. Let's go back to right here. Oh yeah, it's a cool instrumental.
Doomed and petrified, the face of fear and doubt. You see the angels fade away, so one last try. Look at the sky and you pray.
She also has a ton of clarity in that. Ooh, I just realized I think I stopped in the middle of a high note that was about to come up. Whoops. But there's a lot of clarity in her sound, so the words are really easy to catch there. I like them together.
You see the angels fade away, so one last try. Look at the sky and you pray.
Oh, nice. So I think this is mostly Nils that's wailing up there, and he's got some really fantastic high notes that are coming through. But part of what makes it so interesting is that he's singing above a lot of the layers that Melissa's put down. So this is just like what I was talking about earlier of how their voices can mix together and cross over each other is really lovely. Huh, we might have had some wails from Melissa too. It's close. Whoa, no, No, this is a metal song. It's supposed to be really, 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 really long. Let's go back a little bit. Oh, I love that they brought back the harpsichord. Oh, be longer, be longer. No, I feel like that was just the teensiest, tiniest of tastes of something that I really enjoy. Like I took my finger and I dipped it in a Nutella jar, and now I want to go back for a huge soup spoon and just take out like a much bigger scoop. So please let me know down below if there are other songs by Melissa, also Ad Infinitum, and also Amaranth with Nils. So let me know if there's other songs that we should check out by them. And one of the things that I think I just enjoyed so much about it, and made it so wonderful and easy to listen to, was the really thick layering of vocals. When you have that bigger choral sound, it takes a long time to get there. That means not only are you doing harmonies, but also often those harmonies are doubled as well, or tripled, or quadrupled. So I have a lot of respect for the extra time in the recording booth that would have taken from both singers and also the producer. And I just felt like the way that they changed the imaging of it to be a little bit further behind was really effective. And I was enjoying particularly the long melodic lines. I feel like this was almost easy listening for metal, right? It was very, just very enjoyable to listen to. So yeah, I would love to hear more. Please, again, make those recommendations in the comments down below. That's where we look for them. And you can come and find us here every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Arizona time. That's when we premiere videos and have a really fun live chat. So I'd love to get to know you more and see you in that live chat. And you can also find me on Patreon, where you can find courses about singing or music appreciation in general at thecharismaticvoice.com. I'll see you somewhere soon.